What is up, ladies and gentlemen? But most of all, you ladies out there, thanks for clicking on another episode of Break the Silence. I am your host, Cyborg. We just got done watching the Lakers and Warriors. Let's talk about it. Split cow! We just got done watching Game 2 of the NBA season between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, and we're so pumped that the NBA season is back. We are up late grinding. It's 1 a.m. I got to be up for work in about 4 hours. I'm out here grinding, trying to create these reactions. So please take a second to like and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, and I appreciate all the support I've gotten so far. We're going to keep grinding. But let's talk about this game that we just watched here between the Warriors and Lakers. I think that what we saw in this game was important in what I expected to see going into this season. But I did have a couple questions when it came to both teams. So we're going to break it down. We're going to spend 3 to 6 minutes talking about each of these teams, each of these rosters, what I like, what I don't like. So let's start with the 3 questions that I left tonight asking. The first one, Andrew Wiggins gets a massive contract extension. Andrew Wiggins wins an NBA championship, gets a ring tonight, but he can't afford a barber? My guy's hair is terrible. He's got to get it lined up. He's got to figure that out. Number 2, what baddie was sitting courtside? Because Jordan Poole was awesome tonight. But the real question that I have, obviously those are jokes, but the real question I have, how did Rob Pelinka get an extension? That makes no sense to me that they extended him this offseason. Rob Pelinka is the GM of the Los Angeles Lakers. And this Los Angeles Lakers roster is so poorly put together, it actually hurts to watch. They ended up kind of staying close in the game and only losing by 14, but it never felt like a close game. They have this, they have the greatest passer as far as getting guys open at the three-point line ever in LeBron James. And they surrounded him with 0 3-point shooters, which has literally been the recipe for success LeBron's entire career. When you go back to his Miami Heat days, he had Shane Battier, Mike Miller, Ray Allen. He had snipers on the court. When you go to his second stint in Cleveland, he had Kyle Korver, J.R. Smith, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love. He had snipers on the court with him. Why would the Lakers build a roster? Why would Rob Pelinka build a roster that can't shoot? Tonight, they finished the game shooting a robust 10 of 40, which is 25%. That is poor shooting, and a couple of those threes came in garbage time. The problem with this Lakers roster is it just doesn't feel like it has any cohesion at all. It feels like they were trying to get rid of Russell Westbrook and make this big splash trade, and when that didn't work, they just panicked and started putting stuff together. And their big trick up their sleeve they had tonight was to just throw some white guys in the game and hope that they could shoot, hope that they could finally hit some shots, because they threw a guy named Matt Ryan in the game at one point. And we all know Austin Reeves plays for the Lakers, who's actually not a terrible player, but they threw in Matt Ryan, who played 1 game for the Boston Celtics last year and has played, that's the only NBA game of his career, played 18 minutes tonight. And just threw him in the game hoping that he could shoot, and said that his highlight was that he shot like 11 of 31 in the preseason, which is not even all that good. So the Lakers, I don't know what's going on. They built a roster with Russell Westbrook, who can't shoot, Pat Bev, who's an okay shooter, Anthony Davis, who I don't know what's happened to his shot, but he can't shoot a lick. LeBron James, who, his shot comes and goes. Lonnie Walker, who's not known for his three-point shot 0 of 3 tonight. And then a bunch of guys on the bench that, who's their shooters? In a league that's so focused on that, it's so focused on shooting, that's so predicated on the value of the 3 ball, why would you build a roster this way? And better yet, why would you extend the guy that built the roster this way? That makes no sense to me. This Lakers team is going to be a disaster. I made my preseason rankings, and I rank every team in the West, every team in the East. And to me, I have them coming in somewhere around the 10 seed. I just don't think that this team is going to be able to compete for anything. If you look at their roster to start, their schedule to start the season, this team's not going to win a lot of basketball games. They're just not. They're going to start this year, somewhere around like 2-7, maybe worse. We'll see what happens, but I'm the biggest LeBron James fan in the world. this roster has no chance of winning. And tonight, LeBron had 31, 14, and 8, and Anthony Davis had 27 and 6, including 4 steals, 2 blocks. Everyone's going to look and try to blame Russell Westbrook. He was not at all the biggest problem that they had tonight. He had 19 points, 11 rebounds, and obviously his stats have always been good, but he only had 4 turnovers, which is not that bad for him. And he actually had one of the best plus minuses on the team at a -6. So when you're looking at Russell Westbrook, the media and the big narrative you'll hear tomorrow is that Russell Westbrook needs traded. That, not by any means, was the biggest problem tonight. Their lack of shooting and their lack of defense was the problem tonight. And the problem is, if you're going to have a team that can't shoot, you should at least be lockdown defenders. They're not that either. So I don't know what's going on with the Lakers. I don't know why they built the roster this way. My guess is that they try to make some splash in the middle of the season that makes them push to maybe a play-in team, but I don't think it'll be enough. So let's move on, because you're going to hear talk about the Lakers all day tomorrow. So let's move on to the other team that was in this game. The Golden State Warriors, a team that obviously won the NBA championship last year. And in this offseason, couple moves, nothing too major. They lost Gary Payton, went to Portland, I believe. And then they gained Dante DiVincenzo, who I was actually a big fan of pre-injury. And I can't remember if Jermichael Green was on the team last year, but he is now. He's at least playing pretty significant minutes. And James Wiseman was on the roster last year, but was injured, so he didn't obviously get to play a whole lot. When you're looking at the Warriors roster, I think that it's better than it was last year, because you have a couple young guys that will step in and play significant minutes that will develop and be very, very good basketball players. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody look like they have real potential. And watching James Wiseman tonight, I was highly impressed with James Wiseman. He was kind of one of the stories of the preseason. Offensively, he is very, very explosive. And when you're talking about the Warriors, they're so electric at the three-point line. When you got Steph, Klay Thompson, and Jordan Poole out there, if you can have an explosive center that can dunk the ball, that can slash, that can catch lobs, offensive rebounds, things of that nature, they're going to be a tough, tough team to stop. And that's really, really going to be interesting to see as Wiseman continues to get more and more minutes, because I believe that his role will expand a little bit with this team. Obviously, we know the threat that Steph Curry, Klay Thompson represent. So we're not going to dig in too deep to that tonight. We know that. But one of the big questions that we had was, can Draymond Green and Jordan Poole get past this incident and this drama that they had in the offseason? To me, it was a resounding yes. Draymond Green and Jordan Poole looked like they played great off each other. And the thing that we saw with Draymond that we always see is the chemistry he has with his teammates is unbelievable, and it's so undervalued. When people talk crap about Draymond Green, and let me say I'm not the biggest Draymond Green fan in the world, just kind of as a person, but when you talk about the way that he plays off of his teammates and the way that he puts his teammates in positions to succeed, the way that he screens for Steph Curry, gives him those dribble handoffs where Steph can get a wide open three, and the way he understands the movement of his teammates is truly unbelievable. He made some great passes to Jordan Poole tonight. They played well off each other. Obviously, it was a great. It's an exciting night. You're getting your rings, all that good stuff. So, morale's high. It'll be a little interesting to see if they go through any losing streaks here. If they have a little rough patch, will Draymond and Jordan Poole be able to continue to coexist, or will anything happen there? Because we were kind of wondering, is there a chance that Draymond Green gets traded? He is looming a contract extension here pretty soon. We saw Andrew Wiggins get his. We saw Jordan Poole get his. Will Draymond Green be able to get that same contract extension? And that will be the big question. Will that create any tension in the locker room? This Warriors culture is so powerful and so strong that I think there's a chance that it doesn't. And when you're talking about the favorites going into this season, they're 100% should be the favorites heading into this season. The media will play on teams talking about the Nets. They'll talk about the Lakers. They'll talk about, big market teams, big story teams that are fun to talk about, but those are not the teams that are going to be competing for the championship. This Warriors team is going to be a real threat for the title this year, and I really like their young players. I was very impressed with the Warriors tonight. I think that It'll be interesting to see how they do this regular season, because last year in the regular season, they really weren't a dominant regular season team. They just really clicked in the playoffs. So let's see if they can continue that momentum, continue this season, stay healthy, hope for health for all the NBA, but we'll continue to see what happens. Again, please take a second to like and subscribe to the channel. Cyborg out.